So morning guys, it's Saturday the 28th of March 2020 and we find ourselves in a bad position with this pandemic. Kenya went into its first night of curfew. Note, we went into a curfew, not a lockdown. Big difference there. And there have been some ugly scenes on the streets. The radio networks are a chatter with a lot of info that you can't find anywhere else, not on the internet for sure. But I made a video of my radio setup, and a lot of you have been asking for another radio setup video because a lot of things have changed, and so I decided that I'll do another one with the setup as it stands now. I'm going to show you my radio setup, which you can see on the counter over there. As you can see, it doesn't take much space. It actually also doesn't cost much money, but it takes time to put it together because you got to collect all the bits and then learn and understand all the bits and pieces. But anyone can do it. What I'm not going to show you is the Elecraft KX3 that I use for my main communications. It's a fantastic radio. It's mounted in the car right now because we're doing our regular Nyari patrols, and I use that to communicate with Nyari. And when I'm walking around, I use a little handy-talkie. But also I don't want to show you the KX3 because I've done some things to it that render it not strictly legal. So you look up KX3, look it up on the internet. I think that is the most portable and the most useful radio. Easily fits in a rucksack and can do anything over thousands of kilometers. So let's get to it. Here in my rucksack I have my Baofeng setup. This is a $30 radio, very nice,
Channel mode,
and capable of talking to Nyari Security, Aga Khan Security, the ORC. Very, very nice, very cheap radio, runs for only $30 and runs for weeks on a charge. I have several of these, as you can see here, and I even extend their range somewhat with Retevis extended antennas, which give me much more than this standard rubber ducky. I think we've tried 7.5 kilometers in open spaces, and it's quite clear. We carry and use Unidens for car-to-car communications. Very nice when we're traveling in national parks, or when we went up to Turkana last year. There's a digital scanner. This is a Whistler TRX1. Many things are going digital around the world now, and Kenya is no exception. So talk groups and Motorola digital radios, this is the thing that will be able to, you can listen to them. Otherwise, you're cut out of the loop. For many years, I used an AOR 8200, this one. I think this is nearly 10 years old now. One of my favorite radios. Very good for airband. Can listen to Jomo Kenyatta, can listen to Wilson and some other airband. That's keeps me in touch with things. I use a CC Crane Skywave for short wave, single sideband, lower sideband, and also a very good FM radio. So you can listen to local channels like Capital or Kiss FM and you can listen to understand what's happening on the radio as per the local broadcasts. And then something a little unusual. I discovered a couple of years ago while doing ambient recordings that if I take a parabolic microphone and mount two lavalier mics on its inside, I get a setup connected to an H4 Pro with or without the dead cat. I get a setup that can listen to voices 5 kilometers away, And Acacia and Caitlin saw that when I could hear them talking on the rim of Paradise Crater on Mount Marsabit. And we could pick up their conversation. In line of sight was approximately 2 kilometers away. But we could hear them clearly, every word they said. Of course, for anything on the internet, you need an access point like this alpha here that you can put into promiscuous mode. And then it's not every card that you can do that with. This one you can on Linux. You can run Wireshark and you can see if somebody's in your network that should not be there. You can see if somebody's on the street checking out the fiber networks, and you can make sure that they are not compromising your network security. And of course, guys, don't do it illegally. Get licensed. Do it illegally and end up in a small box with bars on it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Ask questions and I can point you to some good equipment at very reasonable prices. Bye now.